Oh, hey guys. Welcome back to another Top 5. Today we are covering probably my favorite genre of movie, and that is the stoner movie. What's up, bro? So let's go ahead and get into it on some random comedian's Top 5 that means absolutely nothing. I'm one of those weirdos that would much rather watch like 5 episodes of a TV show than commit 2.5 hours to a movie. But if I am sitting down with popcorn in lap watching a movie, probably from this genre or a rom-com, I do love a good rom-com. I mean, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, cinema classic. But these movies on this list, if I am flipping through the channels on a Saturday or a lazy Sunday afternoon, guaranteed to at least give it 30 minutes of my time. Love these movies. They're usually got some form of friendship in it, some form of groups coming together to fight some evil with a little bit of weed sprinkled in there. Yeah. So let's get into the stoner movies. Before we get started, though, all-time favorite character from this genre is Danny McBride's Red in Pineapple Express. That last scene where he is just beat up, I think he's been shot, he's been put through the ringer. It is hilarious. One of my favorite roles of his, and dude's got a list of roles he has absolutely crushed, but none better than Red from Pineapple Express. Hats off to Danny McBride on that one. That kicks us into our honorable mention. It is Grandma's Boy. This movie came out in 2006. It was the Adam Sandler crew minus Sandler. Really let the guys that have been like secondary characters in all those movies really let them shine. I mean, the main character having to move back in with his grandma when he's developing a video game. And then plus Linda Cardellini, come on. She reminded us quick why she was able to come in between Corey and Topanga all those years. Yeah, Lauren, Boy Meets World, same girl. Crazy, right? But no, I loved Grandma's Boy. One year I didn't have cable, back when cable was still a thing, and I watched this movie probably like once a week. Maybe twice. Okay, 3 times a week. 4. Let's get into the top 5. Number 5, cracking the list. It is How High. Come on, man. You study high, take the test high, you get high scores. Flawless philosophy. Method Man and Redman were the perfect duo. That get 'em when Redman's just on the back of Method Man getting the professor. It is so good. And then when Redman's eating the Cheetos, getting them all over my man's rug, I'm in tears every time. I love this movie. That just goes to show you the caliber of movies we have 4 and above. So number 5, How High. They did make a How High 2 starring Lil Yachty and DC Young Fly, and I haven't watched it yet. But hey, DC Young Fly's pretty funny, so I'm sure it's got some scenes in there too. For sure. Number 4, that gets us into Super Troopers. Littering and. Great quotable movie. This one also had a sequel, but this sequel was fantastic. I mean, they took on Canadian Mounties. I didn't even know the Mounties were still a thing. Just like number 5's How High, this movie came out in 2001. Great year for movies. It's introduced us to Thorny, Mac, Foster, Rabbit, and Farva. Just one of the most quoted movies in my friend group, by far. But speaking of most quoted movies, number 3 is Friday. I mean, it gave us Bye Felicia. What more do you need? Chris Tucker as Smokey, Ice Cube as Craig. Great dynamic duo. The best part is this movie never leaves their neighborhood and is just gold. It's fantastic. It introduces us to so many characters with so many levels. And then you find out Smokey done smoked up all the selling weed, and now he drug Craig into it too. And then on top of that, you got a neighborhood bully just snatching people's chains, making them cry in the car because their grandmama gave them to them. Love this movie, love quoting it. You probably could have a conversation with another human being just quoting this movie. That's how much it gave us. So Friday, number 3, goes down as one of the greats. Number 2, we have Half-Baked. Little did we know when this came out, all of the genius and the controversy that Dave Chappelle was about to drop on us. The definition of buddy comedy. They trying to get their friend out of jail, trying to sell weed. That scene where the janitor says, I know it's not your job, but could you go on this errand for me? And then Chappelle hands him the mop and says, I know it's not your job. One of my favorite scenes of any movie ever. Just like the other movies on the countdown so far, it had a sequel as well, starring Frankie Muniz. That leaves us with number 1, the champion this week, Probably one of my favorite movies of all time. I've seen it a million times. I could watch it a million more. That is Dazed and Confused. Have you seen it? This movie is so good that we came together collectively as a society and agreed that his catchphrase, all right, all right, all right, would be how we described Matthew David McConaughey for the rest of time. It's that powerful. Such a great cast. It's funny that the main character, Pink Floyd, didn't go on to big things like a lot of people thought he would. This movie showed us a dream summer between middle school and high school. I mean, minus the running for your life and seniors trying to hit you with a paddle. Hey, it was the 70s, man. All right, all right. This movie came out in 93. No sequel that I am aware of. They haven't tried to remake it. And please, for the love of God, Hollywood, keep it that way. That's my top 5 stoner movies. Thank you so much for tuning in so far. Share us with all your friends, your family. Let me know what top 5s you want to see coming up. We'll see you next time.